For the last decade, we've been told a specific story about hypersonic weapons. We've been told they are the assassin's mace, the superweapon. We view them as the Ferraris of warfare, exotic, technologically impossible, and above all, excruciatingly expensive. They are the kinds of weapons only superpowers build, and even then, only for the highest stakes targets. But what if that story is wrong? What if the superweapon just went onto the assembly line? Enter the YKJ-1000. It wasn't built by a state defense giant. It was built by a private Chinese startup. And it isn't terrifying because it's the fastest thing in the sky. It's terrifying because it's cheap. Let's talk numbers. Usually, when we discuss hypersonics, we talk about Mach numbers and thermodynamics. But the revolutionary feature of the YKJ-1000 isn't physics, it's economics. This missile clocks in between Mach 5 and Mach 7. That's fast, but it's not record-breaking. However, the developer, Lincoln Tianxing Technology, claims they have slashed the production cost by 90% compared to legacy missiles. 90%. Why does that matter? Because it changes the doctrine of war. We're moving from precision to saturation. Think about it. If you are the US Navy, you're defending your carrier with the Standard Missiles 6. That interceptor costs nearly 30 million yuan, $4 million per shot. Now imagine your enemy fires a wave of cheap, mass-produced YKJ-1000s at you. You are forced to shoot a $4 million bullet to hit a target that costs a fraction of that. It is an unsustainable exchange ratio. You don't lose because your technology is worse. You lose because you go broke. You run out of interceptors long before they run out of missiles. This is exactly the kind of asymmetric threat that changes the global chessboard. And tracking these shifts from the economics of missiles to the strategies of superpowers is what we do here at South Defense. If you want to understand the reality behind the headlines and stay ahead of the curve, take a second right now to hit that like button and subscribe. It helps us keep bringing you these deep dives. Now, back to the big question. How did they actually do it? How do you take a crown jewel technology and sell it at Walmart prices? They stopped trying to be perfect. They decided to be good enough. The designers realized that pushing past Mach 7 requires exotic materials, titanium, rare alloys, things that cost a fortune. So they capped the speed. Mach 7 is the limit. By doing that, they could stop using military-grade aerospace materials and start using, well, junk. I'm not kidding. Listen to this parts list. Thermal protection? They're not using space shuttle ceramic tiles. They're reportedly using modified building cement. The structure? It's not hand-welded aerospace aluminum. It's die-cast metal, the exact same tech used to churn out electric vehicles in Shanghai. The brains? The guidance cameras sourced from online marketplaces like Taobao. The navigation chips? Consumer drone grade. It's the military-civil fusion strategy in action. They replaced explosive bolts with simple electric nuts. They turned a Ferrari into a Toyota Technical. It's not elegant, it's ugly, but it works, and they can build thousands of them. But a cheap missile is useless if you can't launch it. And this is where it gets genuinely unnerving. The YKJ-1000 doesn't sit in a silo. It doesn't need a specialized military transporter that sticks out on satellite imagery like a sore thumb. The entire launch system is disguised as a standard commercial shipping container. Deterrence by obfuscation. In peacetime, these launchers can move freely along civilian highways, sit in commercial rail yards, or blend into the millions of containers moving through ports. To an adversary satellite, it's just logistics. When a conflict starts, you aren't looking for a needle in a haystack. You're looking for a specific needle in a stack of identical needles. It turns intelligence gathering into a nightmare. You can't strike the launchers preemptively because you don't know which truck is a delivery for Amazon and which one is a hypersonic battery. The YKJ-1000 is more than a weapon. It is a statement. It proves that the days of the exquisite superweapon are ending. We are entering an era of good enough mass production. This is the weaponization of an industrial base. China has taken the industrial Cthulhu, that massive manufacturing engine that powers the global economy, and focused it on warfare. They're using private startups, venture capital, and commercial supply chains to out-innovate and out-produce traditional defense contractors. The West has spent decades figuring out how to intercept one perfect missile. But as the YKJ-1000 rolls off the assembly line, the question is no longer about technology. It's about arithmetic. We know how to stop the Ferrari, but do we have enough ammo to stop the traffic jam?